Okay, we have loyalty, the bond that never breaks. Um, Kind of a key verse that goes along with loyalty is Hebrews 3:14. For we have become partakers of Christ if we hold the beginning of our confidence steadfast to the end. So this week's lesson is on loyalty. Loyalty, the bond that never breaks. Not going to say a lot at the beginning of these slides so that I can save time for the end so you guys can write the definitions, synonyms, and antonyms down by just pausing when we come to that slide. This is the verse you need to have. It will be due by March 10th. That's next Thursday. Next Friday's a half day. So you can write this in your notes and have it ready for next week. Here is the definition of loyalty. Have 5 synonyms here for loyalty, as well as 5 antonyms for loyalty. We've got a list of words here that you can leave yourself a little space so that we can write out some definitions about what's going on here. Many of you are used to or you've heard before that motto that the Marines use with the Semper Fi, which means always faithful. And a lot of times you don't think about loyalty until somebody has done you wrong and you're thinking about how disloyal they are, and we never really think about the loyalty that God's asked us to use for others around us. I guess we understand that a lot of times if our encouragement comes from man, so will your discouragement. If you place your faith in man, man will let you down. We should try to refocus everything on God's nature because He alone is faithful and loyal to us. He alone will never fail you. So we're going to go through these terms one by one, and if you need to pause through some of this, we can, just so you can get everything written down from what we're saying, because we're going to kind of define each one of these terms. We'll start off with loyalty. Not just using our definition, but thinking about that being faithful, that allegiance that has been called by loyalty. A lot of times when we read what Romans 12, we learn that we're supposed to be loyal to our government. And I think the word that I would use along with loyalty to really associate with it is that faithful term. It really comes from two Latin words, rex, R-E-X, and lex, L-E-X. Rex means the king, and L-E-X was his law. It was required that a soldier be loyal and devoted to that king and his laws or his commands. So this is kind of a little background on the word loyalty. Our second term is fidelity, which is faithfulness. It's so true to the purpose or cause that nothing could separate. As we said in our definition, it's unable to separate. Nothing can separate. That's where you might have heard infidelity, sometimes associated with marriages when those bonds are broken. Fidelity is just that opposite. Nothing can separate with fidelity. Our third term is bonding. And bonding, you might have heard in science class before, to be attached so strongly that nothing can separate. I think when you bond stuff, when you bond two metals together, when you are trying to weld the things together, you're making it so tight. It's used a lot today to describe the deep and the strong attachment that infants form with their mothers. You hear about that bonding with their mother. It's so important during early age. Our next term is allegiance. And with allegiance, I would say the devotion is what I would put with allegiance. A lot of times, that loyalty that a citizen owes to his country comes from allegiance. Long time ago, servants or farmers, they owed the support to the lord or the castle of the estate. It later applied to the knights who served the kings and countries. The worst act imaginable was to be a traitor or commit treason that would go against your allegiance. Some of you can probably remember Benedict Arnold is well known for his treason against the United States. Our next term is Semper Fidelis. That is the motto of the Marine Corps, and it means always faithful. It's going to describe that relationship of one soldier committed to another in that whole Marine Corps. They don't believe in leaving anyone behind. And so as we look at these words, some questions come to mind. And one is, how are they all related? What do they have in common? What's a character trait of loyalty do you think would be important of these? Or do you think all of them are important? These are some questions we want to look at. I think what we like to look at for all these to answer those questions is to see what loyalty includes. It includes the upholding and the honor and the reputation of others. You have to stand up for them, not allowing people to criticize them, make fun of them, or tear them down. You want to be loyal to your friends in that way. By doing that with the loyalty, we spend time doing things together, building those relationships, growing stronger in our bonds, wanting to love one another and be faithful to them no matter what happens. When we did our lesson on love, we were reminded of that unconditional love we talked about that our parents have for us. Love can go right hand in hand with loyalty as we look at it. As we get into this week, as we get into studying loyalty this week, we want to think about how it feels, when people are disloyal to us and how that hurts us. And so to help with that cause, we want to work on finding ways to be loyal to each other, to try to help each other out. So that's something we're going to look at this week. Please remember your verse for next week. Get that ready. And hope you guys will be on your best behavior for Miss McGinnis. We really appreciate her coming in and giving up her time. So you guys make sure to be on your best behavior for that. You guys have a great afternoon.